This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm Sylvia Sage, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy Funny Raw starts now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw.
Woo!
I love you just gonna
I'm
throw
just so
one
excited.
in between. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be back. I love being back in studio. I've been traveling for a while, so it's been nice. And there's been a lot of stuff going on since we've had another show. A lot of stuff with OnlyFans. So today, our topic, what the fuck, OnlyFans?
I love this topic because everybody's talking about not only are people that produce content, but I have to tell you, fans, you know, I'm an OnlyFans fan. Like, I know who I'm going to see every month, and I know what subscriptions I'm going to renew and not. And so when that came out, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was really drastic for everyone. And if you don't know, if you lived under a rock and you don't have the news or social media, OnlyFans came out and said that they were no longer going to be able to work with sex workers. Mainly, they were going to be taking any sex acts off of their site. So you could be nude, but you couldn't show any sexual intercourse. You couldn't show vagina. I don't know if you could have shown a penis or not, but you couldn't have touched it.
I don't think it could have been like erect. It couldn't be like in a sexual act. It could be for artistic purpose. And they wanted to focus like on musicians and poets.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, poets are running to have their OnlyFans. Okay.
Exactly. So there was a huge stink that obviously this caused. And within 2-3 days, they had retracted their statement and said, now we will be allowing them. We have found other ways to make this site still work. They got different investors and they worked out things with the credit card companies to where they could stay up with sex workers because the backlash was so severe for them. But now I feel, as a sex worker with a profile on OnlyFans, I really feel like this is just such an abusive relationship. I feel like, I don't know now. I felt like it was very safe in the beginning, and I felt like they were like, we're always going to be inclusive to sex workers. We're here for you. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? I like this guy. I think I'm going to move in. He makes me feel really safe, you know? And then the money was great, and things were good, and the sex was good. And I was like, this is fantastic. I really love this guy. And then one day he's like, you know what? Get the fuck out. And I'm like, what?
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, thanks for making all this money for this platform.
Right.
Now we don't need you anymore.
Bye.
So how were they going to subsidize? You can't go from making that much income to not having that kind of income.
You know, and I wondered, was it publicity? Was it?
Everybody was talking about it. Even my mom called me. It's like, hey, what's Cybersocket going to do with OnlyFans gone? And, you know, does that, you know, and a lot of the friends that I've made, you know, how does it affect them?
Oh, I was going to be hugely affected personally. I mean, that was going to dramatically change my income and the income I had gotten really comfortable relying on.
Yeah.
And they gave us 1 month. It was like a 6-week notice of like everything's going to end. And then 3 days later, they were like, we're just kidding. We found a new way and you can stay.
So weird.
Now I'm like, you're going to take it away again. Okay. Anyway, we need... Okay, thank you so much, Cybersocket and Fleshbot, for being proud sponsors of our show and being able to bring us back in so we can have guests again. It's so exciting. Woo-hoo. And we have a fabulous guest here with us today.
Hello.
Hey, girl. I would love to introduce Cesar. So he's from my side of the world, although he's filmed bi, trans, anything that has a hole, he will film and play with it.
Basically.
He's a multi-award winner, pansexual porn star. He has filmed with top companies such as Icon Mail, Noir Mail, Bromo Kink, Biphoria, and Devil's Films, just to name a very small few. He has been in almost 300 studio films with top stars such as Pierce Paris, Michael Del Rey, JJ Knight, Kay Carter, Vanessa Vega, Zario Chavez, Dylan Diaz, and the list goes on and on and on. He also performs around the nation as a go-go dancer and also some live sex shows. He's also directed, and I didn't know this until recently, he's also directed for various companies, including City Boys and Treasure Island Media. That's our boy, Cesar.
I
Hi,
love
guys.
it. These photos, by the way, hot.
Thanks.
So if we could have Sylvia Sage that list, that would be
Guys.
Let's do it.
Well, and people are like, oh, how did he get his last name? Well, it's Cesar Xes,
Yes.
which is sex backwards.
I was gonna say, I was like, okay, am
Oh.
I gonna mispronounce this when I say
Yeah.
it? But I get it. I love it.
Put my thing down, flipped it, and reversed it.
Yes,
know
you
what I mean?
did. For many, many years. And it's kind of a fun story how like your whole sexual revolution kind of first started. It's from your
Yeah.
parents.
Well,
Well,
well, when you say it like that, you make it sound weird. No, I found porn under my parents' bed, like most,
yeah.
boys growing up.
Or
and,
girls. That's- yeah.
Or girls. And any second they would leave the house, I would just grab this cassette tape and like.
Were you an
finish
only
this
child?
movie. No, I was the middle child, so I was left home a lot.
So how did you find the alone time in the house?
Yeah.
My older brother was like a shit show, and my younger sister was just like taken everywhere with my parents, so I was often home alone.
Oh, nice. I mean, that's kind of neglectful,
God.
but good for you and your penis, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
But isn't it funny? Like as youth, our very first porn, we could watch the same thing over and over, or could be a magazine that we found, and we would flip through the same.
I
page
still
Yes.
watch
over
it.
and over.
I still watch the same video. It's
Oh
The
my
Devil and
God.
Mrs. Jones 2 and 3.
Oh my God. What is it on
Yeah.
VHS or something?
It was on VHS, but I got the DVD.
Oh my
copy.
God.
I got the
Hilarious.
Blu-ray 4K,
I was
Dolby
gonna say.
Sound.
There's barely any DVD or Blu-ray players even
Yeah.
around any longer. I feel like it's all online.
Well, I got it right under my VHS player.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Next, you got to make sure you like burn it and save it somehow.
Yeah, no, totally. But I still watch it. I love it.
I love it. I think I could do that with porns I grew up with. I think I would still find them hot.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, I went to the same scenes all the time.
I just started rewatching Jeff Stryker, who was like from the late 80s, early 90s, and it's like, it's a trip seeing how they produce stuff, and the sound effects was like, you know, it's like, and then you see like the lines from the VCR. And you remember having to go buy porn, probably, I don't know in the straight world, but like for gay boys.
I mean, I knew that it existed behind the beads, but I never went.
Well, we would have to go buy a gay porn, and it would be $60 for like an hour-long VHS or DVD.
That
Well,
was a
we had
lot
the
of money
Spice
back
Channel.
then.
$59.95. I still remember Circus of Bucks.
We had the Spice Channel. Like, we had the bootleg cable. So we would get the
Yeah.
Spice Channel, and like during the day it would be all blurry, and you try
see
to make
boob.
out like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But at nighttime after midnight, you could see it clearly, and it was
Oh no!
amazing.
Yeah, we had HBO, so I was like
Yeah.
watching the
And
real
cinema.
late
Real
night.
sex.
Yeah, the late night stuff. Oh, I loved it. That taxi cab
Yeah,
confessions
so
with
good.
people
That's
fucking in the back. Oh my
right.
God, I used to love it.
Oh, and
all of
HBO
it.
used to have that show Real Sex.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What happened to that? Where's
Let's
the good old
Why don't
days
you
of
bring
having?
it back?
I would love to.
Well,
I
that's not actually a
I
bad
did an
idea.
HBO porn in 2014, but I mean, and it made the light of day, but it
Yeah.
was so old. I,
I
don't
could
even try
see-
to promote it.
I didn't know
Real
HBO
Sex
produced
with Sylvia
porn.
Sage. I
yeah,
can totally see that.
softcore. It's softcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was an actual sock on the guy's dick while we were fucking. And I'm like, thank God, because this is a guy I would have never fucked in real life. And I was like, I don't even want his dick to touch me. Like, this is
Was it like a
good.
tube sock or
Yes,
like,
an actual tube
is
sock.
that a Calvin Klein sock?
Yeah, and also you could tell he just like couldn't fuck because like he just like had no rhythm to it. And he was just like he was just like grinding on top of me, just like. And I was like,
Sexy.
have you had real sex? Like this isn't how you mimic this.
No, I have to ask you. So when you're with men in your personal life,
Yeah.
and you know, they obviously everybody recognizes you. You're one of the top performers in the industry. Have dates ever gotten so excited that they're with Sylvia that they're like 10 seconds in, there's like, "Wah!"
Yes. I'm not even kidding you. This just recently happened to me and I like want to address it with this person because I'm probably going to see him again. But like the first time we went out, it was great and he was totally cool and not being weird about Sylvia Sage at all. And then the second time he was like, I've watched your videos. And then it just became like, and he was like, what are the things that turn you on? And I was like, I don't know, like passion and stuff. And then we like got back to my house and he kissed me really bad the first time. And he was like, how was that? And I was like, not awesome, honestly. Like,
But you
just
told him?
not- Yo, absolutely.
That's so important.
No, but then he ravished me and kissed me, and it was a better kiss. And he was like, how was that? And I was like, oh, that was better. And then before I knew it, he had thrown me down on the couch, and he's dry humping my fucking leg to the point where I had a bruised fucking
Oh, my
pelvis
God.
bone because he's just like dry humping me to death. And finally I was like, bro, you're actually hurting me. Like, get off. Like, this has become so awkward right now. And he's like, I just want to be inside you. And I was like, we're not fucking. And I'm done. I'm done with you dry humping my leg. Like, it just got to a really weird place. It got really weird. So yeah, what was the question?
Did he?
Did
did
things
he,
get weird? Yeah, things get
Yeah.
weird.
Did he not Did he not say that he knew who you were before you went on the date?
I don't think he really did.
I've
And
had that
then-
happen.
Yeah,
to me.
and then
it's
I think
really weird when they like drop the ball, like especially if you're starting to like them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they're like, when they lead on and like you can tell they know who you are and like you should have said something.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
but-
he didn't know in the beginning exactly who. I just said that I worked in adult films, and then on the first date, that's when he asked, like, "Can I ask what your name is?" And I was like, "Yeah." So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean, it's kind of a weird thing because you don't want to start a date saying, "Oh, I've seen your stuff," but like, how can you not?
Right.
You're one of the top names. You're also one of the top names for many years. Obviously, they've seen your work. So, on the like, if I was going to go on a date with you, I wouldn't want to say that first right off the bat because then it sets like this weird sexual
Right.
energy there. But
But I'm
I've
also
seen your
the
stuff.
person like on the first date. I'm like, if I want it to go well, I just spill everything out at once.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that I'm saying that you hate, let's
This
just,
is it.
So you
Yeah.
don't have
friend
second
zone
dates, that's
right
what you're saying.
yes.
Yeah.
no second dates for Caesar.
Single for the last couple of years. Yeah.
I was
Gee,
gonna
wonder
say,
why.
I kind of do the same thing for people. I'm like, well, here's the fucking deal.
Word
so,
vomit.
Yeah.
Plus, when you're so busy, you don't have time to sit and do the whole
No.
5
No.
dates before we hold hands shit.
No.
Like, you just don't have that time.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm kind of sick of talking about myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
you have to do so many interviews or whatever, and I'm like, I'm so sick of telling people my story. I'm like, can't you just Google it?
Well, I wish there was like a dating app for sex workers, like Christian Mingles or like Farmers Only.
Yes.
So we don't even have to like go through all that bullshit. You already know what the
Yes.
deal is. Let's like build from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
I like
so
it.
if we were to do that, what would your profile say if you were on like a romantic app for sex workers and their fans? What kind of things would you include in your profile?
Housewife at heart.
Is that really true?
I'm the hoe you can turn
Please.
into a housewife. I totally am.
Oh, not me. I'm not.
I'm so
cooking.
domestic.
Mm-mm.
I love to cook.
And you would be fine like every night Netflixing and chilling.
I mean, that's what I do most of the time. Yeah. I mean, people have this whole other perception of me that
Yeah.
I'm like this party animal. But text me, I'm probably at home like binge watching something.
I love binge watching stuff. I just
Yeah.
don't want to cook anything, or I will clean if I have to. But now that I've gotten this maid thing, I'm like, I don't think I can ever go back.
apartment is spotless. I could like after a night of hanging out, randomly show up at your house at 4 a.m. to make pizza or whatever we did. It's spotless. Even the cats are like brushing up after themselves. Like, we have to keep it clean.
Mom does not like it when things are out of place. They do too. They
The cleanest
really
apartment
do.
I've ever been in.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm a little OCD. It's a habit. I don't think it's a bad one.
No,
though.
it's
Yeah.
not.
It's like one of the better ones to
My
have.
place is pretty much the same. Everything has its place.
Yes,
you know?
that's how I feel.
Don't
When
come visit me then.
No, my best friend is the complete opposite, and I stay at her house when I go to Kansas City. And when I get there, I just start cleaning, and I don't want to like offend them, so I try to not like do too much. But like I definitely just like do like I'm like just a good clean sweep of like all the things that I see that need to be put away.
Yeah, my
you
life
know?
is chaotic enough. I don't need to live in chaos as well.
But
know
you,
what I
you
mean?
guys also travel a lot too. You don't want to come home to a messy house.
That's the
Yes,
worst.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But you know, there's that stereotype that if his room is a piece of trash, he's going to be so good in bed. It usually is
I
right.
mean,
Usually it's right.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that play out for my personal self. I
I've
will
never
say.
heard that. in my
Never?
life. No.
Yeah. But I will say I've also dated some very clean men that also can rock my world. So I don't know.
Phone
I think
numbers,
it's an
please.
age thing too. I think like the older men get, the better they get in bed. Anyone disagree? I like a good like 45 to 52. I think those are the perfect fuckers. Those are like prime.
It also starts to digress at
fuck.
a certain age.
Yeah, like when the butt starts to get wrinkly, I'm like, gotta go. Sorry, Tony, gotta go.
No, but they have to keep up. I mean,
I love older gentleman energy.
Yeah.
Like I love a handsome man you can go to the opera with and like just be like,
Yeah.
not daddy because I'm not into that
I'm
kind
not
of
into
play,
daddy,
but
yeah.
just like more mature energy is
Yeah.
super sexy.
Yes.
But on a daily basis, I like somebody I can run around with and day drink with and watch cartoons with if I want
watch
to.
cartoons. I like
Love
that.
cartoons.
Yeah, as long as somebody can eat a bowl of cereal with me at like 4 p.m., I'm okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Or 4 a.m. Who knows? I don't know what we're doing. Okay, so let's actually get to, well, first off, our word of the day.
Yes.
We have,
This is Sylvia Sage's sexy, funny, raw word of the day. Do you know what it is?
I love it, by the way.
It's
what
magical.
a fun sound effect. That's so great. Okay, so obviously with this show, we do like it to be some sex education, so we want to be able to learn something on this show. So, without further ado, our word of the day. I'm going to see if you know what this word is, Caesar, and then we'll give you the answer, but you're going to have to guess.
This is my first time hearing the words. So.
Okay. Oh, mine also. Just kidding. Okay, and I may not pronounce it correctly, so I'm going to give it my best try here. Neuroses. Neuroses.
Use it in a sentence,
I
please.
can't. It's spelled Neutrois.
I have never heard of this word.
Okay, neither had I, so thank you very much. But if you had to guess, what would you think it would be?
It sounds like a neurological disorder, even though
Okay.
I said that wrong. That, like, I don't know, maybe you can't orgasm.
Oh, that
Wow.
would be awful.
I know.
Have you guys seen the shows about like women who orgasm like 40 times a minute? They can't stop orgasming. They're like this. But no, but it
I've
hurts.
seen that.
Like
I was
it's not
gonna
funny,
say,
but it's
like
kind of
that
funny.
would be. I mean, how would you accomplish anything?
That's what the whole thing, and it like plays on. It's like people that hear that sound all the time. It wears them down, and they'll be
Yeah.
like to do daily activities, and it's a scientific biological of a defect, and they have orgasms all day, but like it gets to the point where like it hurts because you're just like done, or you can't
Yeah.
focus, or
And then you'd have to nap all the time. I mean, I have to nap after I masturbate. I just be like coming and sleeping and coming and sleeping. I would get nothing done.
there's a movie in that. OnlyFans.com, coming and sleeping.
Oh my god! Especially if there's like, okay, never mind. I was gonna say like the man who wakes up with the hard penis in your butt, and then it's I love that. I love waking up with a hard penis in my butt. Doesn't everybody? No.
Caesar, I'm a top.
Oh God! But even just that rubbing in between your cheeks.
Oh,
you don't let anyone rub in between them.
No.
Why do you look so disgusted?
Right.
No, I'm
I'm
not
like-
disgusted. I just like it's
For him, it's
funny with like my jazz hands and my high voice. People make
Yeah.
assumptions, and I'm like, nothing is gonna happen back there. Nothing.
Not even rubbing. Not even touching.
Like you could squeeze while we're kissing, or like grab me while I'm doing my business.
Gosh. Okay.
He's
All
just
right.
lazy.
I know. I'm like, I
How
feel like
dare
we need
you?
to.
I do love a good
I
cover where I can
feel
just
like
lay
we
there.
need to open his brain to
He
some
just doesn't want to put in the
things.
effort.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I
Okay.
get it. It takes a long time to clean up.
What you just described is one of the most horrible things I can imagine is no orgasm. But that, thankfully, is not it. So
Okay.
what it is a non-binary gender identity that falls under the genderqueer or transgender umbrellas. It can include the classification of genderless and or agender.
And this has become such a hot button in like mainstream Hollywood. We have actors coming out as gender fluid
Yes.
or non-binary.
Yes.
But now we're seeing it, and I can speak on behalf of Cybersocket. You know, we run the gay site. Our categories and the clips that people are watching have become very fluid. And Cesar, I know you have a lot of history. You were filming like gender, like non-specific porn before it was like a hot button.
Yeah, it actually got me into bi porn, but I started doing like trans videos, and people were like, "What the fuck? That's not gay. Like that's a pussy." And I'm
What?
like, "That's probably one of the gayest
Right.
things I've ever done in my life." I'm like, "Did you watch the video?"
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna start like
Yeah.
doing bi porn. I'm gonna do like female trans videos. I'm gonna do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I
what I mean?
love that.
Like you can't box me.
Yes.
And if you want to unfollow, unfollow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I love that attitude.
But
And
did it affect your career in the gay porn world? Because I know there's a huge faction of gay men that feel threatened when their gay porn stars are with somebody that's trans or with a
And
woman.
it's those same guys who love the gay for pay guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
But that's a fantasy, like the straight guy letting you, that's fantasy.
you know,
No, I think it really exists. I think it's out
Oh,
there.
believe me, plenty.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, no, I think that's a real thing, Alexander. I don't think that's a fantasy.
But the fantasy of a gay man to be with a straight guy and to be able to be sexual with a straight guy is every
Okay.
college boy's fantasy.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
well, I used to like think the gay for pay thing was just like, oh well, they'll figure it out eventually that they're gay. But it's really not the case because
No.
in my real life, I'm a gay man, but I like to say I'm pan for pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel
like
the
if you
same
want
way.
to do it like that, like
how do you-
I'm enjoying it. I enjoy it sexually, but
Mm-hmm.
in my personal life, I don't know if I'm gonna do that exactly.
I 100% agree.
You know what I mean? But I love filming it. I love doing it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it pays really well. So there you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel that same way. Like, I have no problem being with a man or a woman or trans or anything like that. Honestly, as long as we have like a cool connection and we can kiss, I can usually have sex with you. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's just
I'm
it's
totally
a mental,
into it at
yeah,
the moment, and
yeah.
I'm like staring directly into whoever's eyes that I'm
Right.
with at the moment, making sure we connect the
Right.
whole scene.
Right.
But after I'm done, we're done. Like, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like, we can hang out, like, maybe another time.
Yeah, but I don't want it to go any
Yeah,
further.
no, we're not doing this. when
But
we
you
get
can't,
back home.
like, for a man, you can't tell your body what to be attracted to or what to get hard for. So how do you put yourself, like, how have you experienced sex so openly that you can get excited by somebody that's not your norm?
Well,
in real
you
life?
said you like your search words were like big tits.
Yeah.
Well, mine's is like, you know, triple penetration gangbang, like straight
Yes.
Just a normal day of
Yes.
viewing. That's
Yeah.
intense, by the way.
porn. I have very specific search words.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good question to ask
and
us,
if
by
it's
the
not
way.
at
It is, yeah.
least 3 or more, then I'm going right to the next video.
Nice.
But so I was watching that so much, like all my life, and you know, in the middle of quarantine, I'm like, why don't I do this if I'm fantasizing about
Yeah.
it so much? So I am into it, and if I'm not horrified by something that I'm jerking off to by the time I'm not watching the right videos. You know, I watch some.
So you're one of the people who goes in that black tunnel of pornography,
Yeah,
and you're like, the
especially, like,
deeper and darker I can get, the
Once
better.
I'm like, yeah, especially if I had a little to drink, I'm like, let's go a little darker, guys. But yeah, but
I mean, that's
I would
brave.
never
It's just
do
like
some of the
20
stuff.
seconds and
Like
I'm done.
I do
Yeah.
like watching some fisting videos, but I'm not.
Oh my
I
God, that
don't-
freaks me
I
out.
mean, I've fisted
Does
people
it?
before.
Oh my God, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Why?
like,
It's just,
Yeah.
oh God. And it's a huge genre in gay porn.
It is.
Everybody's getting fisted.
I've had people put I've had.
You've been
somebody-
fisted?
Yeah, and
Hot.
I didn't even know I was being fisted.
Oh, come on, Sylvia Sage.
I swear to you,
Yes.
it was during an
What's that?
an
It's a little
anal
tickle.
scene. And my partner, when we were doing photos, he was like, "Hey, do you care if I fist your ass during the scene?" And I was like, "No, if you can do it, then do it." And then we were done, and he was like, "I did it." I asked. I was like, "Did you do it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did. Did you not feel it?" And I was like, "No, I didn't even know."
Oh my God.
But he
Love
did.
it.
Maybe he had small fist. I don't know. Xander Corvus. That's who it was. So.
I don't even know what to say right now.
What's that Twitter again?
Oh, he's so hot.
And for me, it's like I don't judge people that are fisted, or I don't find it like, oh God, that's so gross. I get a physical feeling that makes me uncomfortable.
You worry about their body and what it feels like.
I do sometimes in some of these
Yeah.
videos when they're like,
Oh, I worry about people sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
like, ouch.
Wait, so does your OnlyFans look like that? Does your OnlyFans look
Okay,
like a
so-
dark hole?
So before this,
Caesar's dark hole.
exactly. So before this like recent OnlyFans thing where they were trying to shut down sexual
Yeah.
stuff, my OnlyFans was down for a whole year because of a fisting video that I posted.
Wait,
Oh my God.
They
said
monitored your
fisting.
fisting?
They monitored the page.
Who is this person that works at the OnlyFans headquarters? It's some nerdy guy that has never had sex in his mom's basement. He's like, block, block, block,
I was
block.
trying to figure out forever why my page was like down, and when I finally got like an email back from them, like almost a year later, they were like, "You can't post fisting videos."
Why?
on-"
What's the
Now
reasoning?
fisting
Yeah,
is all
they
over
said
the
you
place.
can't like
Yeah.
you can't put videos of people getting physical harm done to them, and so
And that's considered physical harm?
and I wasn't even like punched in the box. I was like a slow like
I was.
It was a handshake.
Yeah.
exactly.
I was
yeah.
caressing the hole
Hello,
with my
prostate.
whole
How you
hand.
doing?
Nice,
Yeah.
exactly. Good old fashioned prostate massage. But
Yeah.
yeah, they did not like it, so my page was down for a whole year. You cannot put fisting on OnlyFans.
But now there's fisting
But
all
on
over
Just
the
for
place.
Fans, you can.
Yeah. Well, Just for Fans, knows what's up. Now, I have to ask a biological question, and
Oh,
I've always been
great.
fascinated. We know men's, our G spot is in our anus.
Yes.
So it does feel good. Like,
Yeah.
You
there's,
know
like,
that?
Well,
That's what I'm like. Do you?
and I've even, like, people say, go buy a toy and just, like, with yourself explore.
Yeah.
I can't even do that. I'm just, maybe it's like a mental thing.
It's got to be a mental
Yeah.
thing.
I just don't find it enjoyable. Anyway,
Because you haven't done it properly. That's why.
that's what everybody says, but,
Yeah.
like, what's properly?
How many times did you
mean-
try? It's not going to go down on the
No, it
first
doesn't
time.
go down on
Once.
the first time.
No.
Honestly,
once, yeah.
I tried to do too big
just
of a
don't
plug
want to.
once, and I passed out.
You
I-
passed out. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if somebody had to find you and you're passed out and it's this huge butt plug?
I
You're
did
like,
think
don't
about
mind
that.
me.
It's one of my biggest fears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
But biologically speaking, a woman's G spot is not there, obviously. So
No
what,
one knows where it is. No one knows.
Well, apparently it's like it's like a joystick. I don't know how to get to the next level. But so, what's the enjoyment that a woman feels with anal sex?
Honestly, for me, I'm what you search for. I'm like a fill all the holes type of girl. So I like a lot of stimulation happening, and there's something about having a dick or a plug or whatever in your butt, and it just like expands you and relaxes you, and it's just like this extra. I mean,
The
to
feeling
break
of
it,
being full.
I was going to say, to break it down for a lamest who's never had it done, it's like obviously that feeling when you do take a shit. Sorry to get so.
See,
gross.
this makes me nervous.
But when you get that feeling and you're like, oh my God, that was so like relieving. Like it's like that. It's just like a relief, and you're just like open, and you're like, oh yeah, do all the things. Like it's just good. It's just like a good open feeling, and it's just very euphoric almost. It makes your orgasm better because you're more relaxed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I learned something every time I stop by to play. I learned
me.
something
That's
new.
me.
It's like I got a list of homework I have to do.
Okay, wait. So did you have an OnlyFans during the pandemic at all, or no? You only had the Just for Fans.
No, it came back up probably like
good.
a year or so ago. So I had that, and I also, because of the fear of what they did to me already,
Yeah.
and like the fear that everybody got from this shutdown
Yes.
recently, was like, I got to back my shit up.
Yeah,
somewhere else,
I
because
backed
you
up
spend
too.
so much time on this.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize, like, especially if you're editing your own content and shit like that. It sucks to like
Yeah.
have all your stuff taken down. Like my Instagram was just recently deleted for the
That's
sixth
the
time.
worst.
The
That
sixth
is the
time
worst.
because they target adult performers.
Yes, of course.
And then gay ones on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like every time I build
And
it
it's
back
probably a
up
picture of
and-
you drinking tea or something.
I haven't
you know?
posted in like 4 weeks before that. Last thing I did, I was like making empanadas or something.
Right.
Um,
It's like you can do nothing.
but
Yeah.
it takes that one person that just like you probably turned them down on Grindr or something.
Right,
they're
and
like,
they go
I'm gonna
report
report
you.
this bitch. And
Yes.
you probably had a hint of pube. And
Yes.
with me, I'm like hairless, so any hint of pube is just gonna be like too much. You know what I mean?
We saw it. Absolutely.
But like Kim Kardashian shows more of her.
Oh my
tits
God,
and
I get
pussy
so
on
lot
her
of-
page and-
angry.
Yeah.
I get so angry. I quit following them actually, but Playboy, I followed Playboy for the longest time, and they have straight up like nipples,
Yep.
like just a little blot over a pussy, and I'm like, that is some fucked up shit.
Yep.
You can do all of this because you're a company owned by a fucking dude. But I show like, I mean, I've had a picture deleted because it was too low down on my shoulders and they could tell I wasn't wearing a shirt. Like, and so it was nudity in their minds because my shoulders were didn't have clothes on them.
Well,
What?
sometimes I fuck up too. Like I posted a
Oh my
naked
God,
picture
I
by
messed-
mistake
Oh, you
on
did?
Instagram.
I
did
messaged
not
him
mean to.
immediately. It was in his stories, and I was like, oh my God. Who were you sending that to?
No,
I've
so I
gotta know.
love the Instagram filter, so I take like my
I've
pictures
done
on
it.
there.
I've
so
done
just-
it.
And I press send by
Yeah.
mistake, and everybody's like,
The
girl, your
whole
dick is
thing
on
was
Instagram. I'm like, shit, my mom is going to like love this.
Oh my God, your mom follows your Instagram?
My mom is the first one to like post on my pictures like, that's
Oh
my
my
sexy
God,
son.
that's
But his
I'm like,
Instagram is,
hilarious.
like
I
he
love
said,
it.
it's very PG. It's
Empanadas.
usually a sexy selfie
yeah,
or a
my
nice
mom
selfie.
loves
yeah.
it though, but it's, yeah, sometimes I'm like, I got to delete this, mom. This looks a little weird.
Oh my God, but your mom probably sees all the comments of everybody saying all the things to you.
And that worries me too.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh,
But-
they love him.
But your family's good with your profession and they don't make any qualms?
No,
Oh.
and yeah, I spread the wealth, so they really
Yeah.
aren't gonna say much.
Yeah, I feel the
No,
same.
plus
yeah.
they're very like open. It's I
Good.
mean, my grandma passed recently, and they were cleaning out her stuff, and she found like one of my first movies. I was fully dressed, and like I
but
like
sh-
signed it. And
Oh
it
my
was,
God,
like,
Oh,
that's
wow.
so
my
cute.
grandma even. Yeah, everybody's very supportive.
Oh my God, I love that.
They
That's
just
adorable.
thought it was amazing. Like I grew up in the hood, so for me to be like on DVD covers and movies,
Right,
and people know
right,
who I
right.
am, it's like. No
And
matter
for
how
you
he
to
did
have
it.
like made it, and be
Yeah,
doing
totally.
good.
I
and-
live in West Hollywood, California.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
From North Philly, which is like rough.
Oh, I'm about to go to Philly.
Oh, don't go to North Philly.
Okay, don't stay out of North Philly. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. I don't know really where I'm going, but
You're going, because I saw, here's the thing. I'm supposed to be at a Star Trek convention in New Jersey.
oh, are you?
And it's super close because we'll fly into Philly. And I'm like, I don't know geography of that area, but
Yeah.
so it's where you're going to be is like New Jersey adjacent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing.
Oh, you're gonna
over
be on
all
like
over.
Delaware Avenue where all the strip clubs are. And
I have
shit?
no idea. I'm
I know
in
what
a
you're talking
comedy
about.
club. I'm doing a comedy tour, a 2-week comedy tour.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So we're doing like New York, Philly, Boston,
That's
and
amazing.
then like a few other places like around. But
So
yeah.
cool.
No, it's not so cool because the comic I was supposed to go do this with, had 2 vehicles. Well, there was that flood that happened like a week and a half ago or whatever, and it
got
totaled both his cars, like because there was
Jesus.
so much water damage, it totaled the cars. So I'm like, we were supposed to be driving from place to place. I'm like, what's the sitch? Because I'm not trying to like train it everywhere. There's some long drives in there.
Rent a car.
Yeah, true.
Because
It's
then
like,
you pay the insurance. You don't have to worry if the car gets a flat or gets in a
Yeah.
car accident or something.
yeah, but then I'm gonna like pay for that. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm just so tired of paying for. I'm like you. I'm like I share the wealth to a point where it's like, okay, I've shared enough. Like
Yeah.
especially just coming back from vacation with like all my family and stuff. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't need to see
I'm
any
done
of you bitches
spending
for
the
a
wealth. I'm
minute.
done sharing the wealth. Like I'm good now. It's my wealth. Yeah, my wealth.
Well, the problem is everything post-COVID, and this is affecting adult performers. It's affecting drag queens. It's affecting comics. Everybody has been out of work, so people are taking jobs for less,
Yeah.
which means that people can hire a bigger name
Right.
at less, and so local talent is being wiped out,
Yeah.
or everybody's having to lower their rates just for competition. You know, we
Yeah.
even talked about this
Yeah,
with like the escort
There's so
world.
much competition. Whereas there used to be, like, LA has one of the longest pages if you're looking for an escort. That number, like, tripled during quarantine.
Right, because what else are people gonna do? There's literally
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
options for work. I mean,
And it's affordable for somebody that's like, you know, on a regular budget because now, you know, big studio names have to lower their prices. So
Right.
you can get a studio performer for, you know, a night at the Abbey.
right. And the Abbey is not even open. No, they are, aren't they?
Yeah,
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 they're open.
Yeah, I feel
It'll
like
be
I've
the end of the
been.
world,
Yeah,
and David
but-
Cooley will still be there. Want a drink?
Right.
I mean, come on now. That place is iconic and will live
Yes.
in infamy
Yeah,
forever and ever. I love that place so very much. I feel like I was going somewhere with a point and I totally lost it, but we'll keep going. We're moving on. So,
Well, I have to ask you guys, when OnlyFans first started, you know,
Yes.
doing studio work, and that was how to get a gig at that time. That was your work. When a platform like OnlyFans first came out, what was your reaction? Did you guys sign up right away, or?
Well, with me, I was doing Twitter stuff, just like I wasn't recording full videos with people, but like if I was with another performer, I'd like whip my dick out really quick and like post on Twitter. So I was getting studio gigs from that. And then when OnlyFans came out, I was like, oh, so I can make like more money off of these like Twitter posts, just like make a longer version. So it was amazing when it first came out. I thought it like really took me to the next level because I was showing more of like what I wanted to do instead of what directors wanted me to do. And they were like, oh, this boy like throws down. Because before that I was being cast as bottom the whole time.
Yep.
And then when I started like laying shit down on my like OnlyFans and shit, they were like, oh, we need to hire him as a top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I love
then-
that. See, I didn't feel like in the beginning it did anything for me. I feel like in the beginning for OnlyFans for me, it was like a couple $100 here or there. Like I never really did anything with it. It wasn't something that was like a money thing for me. And then COVID, and then COVID changed everything when it came to my OnlyFans.
I wonder if that's the difference between straight OnlyFans,
And
adult,
gay,
and
yeah.
gay content. I would more likely, and I have more likely, signed up for 6 subscriptions on OnlyFans than pay like a subscription on FalconStudios.com.
Right.
I'll buy these separate, but I wonder if that's a big difference with the straight world. Maybe straight audiences are getting what they need from Pornhub, where the gay categories on Pornhub still are not that great. It's either dated or...
And I feel like a lot of people think that way. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people who are the outside looking in, because, you know, they'll comment that on my Instagram. You know, I'll say, you know, link in bio, and I won't say OnlyFans, but they know what that means. And then people will be like, oh, well, what's free on Pornhub? I'm like, yes, it is free on Pornhub. But what they don't realize is they also get like the personal side. You know, they get the messaging or the custom videos or the panties or whatever. So OnlyFans is really for the people who are like dedicated fans. And what's great is porn people are pretty dedicated fans.
Yeah.
Like they
Well, I was
really
gonna
love
say,
their
like,
people.
when you subscribe to somebody's OnlyFans, how long do you stay on the platform? Like, do you cancel after 1 month because you see all their
Seen all the
videos?
stuff.
Yeah, like, are you over it or are you? a
No, because
subscriber?
I think, especially during COVID, I think a lot of the performers know what their fans want, and they keep surprising you with more content, or they'll have guest stars. I love when they have a guest star because it's like your favorite TV show doing a crossover.
Yes.
So I think that there's certain content providers that that work really diligently at putting out new content or varying it up a little bit. There's my tried and true performers that I will subscribe every month without question.
Right, because they're mixing it up and keeping
And
it
it's
interesting.
great content. And I get to see them in a different way than the studio stuff.
I like
or they're
that.
like more into it, or they're filming with who they want to.
Yeah. You know what's funny too is I find that my fans, when I do a live or whatever on my OnlyFans, they don't really necessarily want to see me masturbating or having sex on the live because they see that. They have the videos. Like, that's what this OnlyFans is full of. They really just want to chat.
Yeah.
Or
they wanna
watch
get to know
me,
you.
or, watch me cook dinner and talk to them or have a glass of wine and talk to them. They just want to, like, know you
Yeah, I've
on
like
a more
painted
personal level.
naked. I've cooked naked.
Yeah, it's the basics of basics. They're like, honestly, I feel like at this point, a lot of my fans are like, we don't actually need you to be naked. Thank you, though. So if you could just keep your clothes on and we'll just chat. And I'm like, oh, that's not offensive. Totally. Totally keep all my clothes on and chat.
But I think maybe that's another difference. I know as a gay man, like, you have to be naked at the bare minimum for me to be interested.
I don't know. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you have to be naked?
If I'm trying to get off, yeah. But
No. Like, I'm just saying on your OnlyFans, just chatting with them.
Oh yeah, I don't think I could do like a live streaming chat for too long, like how people are on there for hours.
Yeah. Oh, I
Because
can't do
I'm
that.
like,
No, I would do like 20
I only
minutes.
have so much to say before I whip my dick out because this is what we're here for. in my opinion.
Yeah.
But do you find like subscribing to a lot of, especially the gay guys here in LA, it starts to become a little incestuous? Like if you got
very.
one person's OnlyFans, you got basically everybody's videos. Because
Because everybody's fucking everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially during COVID, because you knew who was being tested regularly and who got the vaccine because they were doing studio work. So there was a small bubble that you could work with, and that's because you didn't want to risk it for the rest of your job.
Do you find a lot of your videos get like ripped and are on like Pornhub and sites like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't do
find
enough
myself all the
research. I mean, I have obviously tons and tons of stuff on Pornhub, but I don't do enough research of it. I don't think anything is leaking from my OnlyFans. Not that I know of. I should do more research. But
Mine's definitely is. There needs to be somebody policing that more.
Yeah.
That's weird because I look for stuff if I'm curious as to what their subscription looks like, because some people will have 3 great scenes and the rest of it's crap.
Right.
I don't know what sites to go to. They don't have a lot of that on Pornhub. They'll have like 1 30-second
I'll
clip.
tell you after.
Okay. It's like I need to do my research.
Yeah. No, I feel like I have to put out good content. I feel personally, maybe that's my OCD-ness of me as well, but I don't want to put out bad content. I don't want people being what you just said about somebody. I don't want that to be said about me. I don't want people did 3 good videos and everything else was shit. I'm like, no, I want all of my videos to be awesome. Like sometimes, like there's even some photos because I'm so vain. I'll like go through like old stuff and I'll like see old photos. I'm like, ew, why did I ever put that one up there? Take that off. That's ugly. You know,
Really?
like, oh yeah, I'll go through and just like tear myself
I mean,
apart.
your shots are very artistic. Like, we're friends, and
Yeah.
I'm still scrolling through your Instagram because your photo shoots are gorgeous.
Thank you.
And
I'm
it's
an
not even just
amazing
from
photographer. Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, and you know how to find the camera, you
Yeah.
know how to find the light,
Yeah.
and it's artistic. Besides the sexual part, it's very
Thank you.
very artistic. But I wonder what people that started the OnlyFans, because you had to learn how to do the tech stuff of it, camera editing.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of performers were like, fuck it, I can't do all that. I don't want to do all that.
I definitely have people who help me like edit videos because I hire people usually. I hire like camera people to come in and I hire an editor to edit my videos. Like
I mix it up. I do some of it myself. Sometimes
some of my
hire, like,
videos
a
don't
camera
need
guy.
editing, because they're just
One
raw.
shot. Yeah, and that's the best. That's literally the best.
That's what most of mine are, honestly. It's me with a ring light. Like
And there's a lot of guys that just love these performers and they're like, I'll be your camera guy. I'll edit it. And
right.
so-
Well, no, I don't have that because I don't want it to be.
I've
like
always
a
wanted to
weird-
do that. Like I've always
Yeah.
wanted to be like, hey, can I just come and like I'll hold the camera, but then I'm afraid like there'll be a mirror or whatever, and people are like, oh, that's Alexander in his jacket.
Yeah, you do have to catch those weird angles, like the windows or a computer screen or a phone screen.
And there's
or
like a car
something.
going by, or the
Yeah,
cat's
yeah.
in the corner. Like, what? I saw the funniest thing. This is a performer that we both know, and I'm not going to say. And it was, you guys, it's so funny. Like, I literally started crying laughing. It was the sexy scene, and he was in a threesome, and he was there was a fireplace going, and it was like on an ottoman. And whoever was holding the camera tripped on the ottoman.
Oh,
and so you hear this,
no.
oh, shit!
Oh,
And he
no.
falls into them. They didn't bother to edit it out, by the way.
Oh my God.
It was a blooper. And I laughed so hard because they were looking at like, get out. And then they go back to what they were doing. But it was so funny because you're like, shit. This high voice out of all of this. I thought, that would be me.
People like that.
I did this for that camera.
I did this studio video with this site called Island Studs, and they have you like work out like in the sun, like. And I was on this yoga ball doing like crunches, sweaty as fuck, and I slipped from under the ball and like bust my face.
Oh no!
And they kept it in there and put it in the preview on top of that.
That's cute.
Oh
but it
my
came
God.
off like kind of endearing, but like when it first happened, I'm like, you better cut this shit out. Like, and of course they put it in the damn preview.
Yeah,
I'm like,
why wouldn't they? Yeah.
But you know, we try to edit ourselves so much, like you were saying, to try to be perfect.
Yes.
So when we break that veneer, some people really find it endearing and like fall in love with you even more.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Anytime like I've admitted to like
I'll
awful
edit it out
stuff,
personally, but when somebody else does it right, I guess it works out.
Yeah, they do like it a little messy.
Now, do you guys watch your studio films when they come out? No?
So, I mean, little sometimes. Depends.
I don't know if I watch it like full, but
Yeah.
I like have to at least scan through it so I know what's out there in the world. But that's about it. I'm
I
not
feel the
like
same
sitting
way-
home rubbing one out to it.
I mean, I have masturbated to my own stuff, but I know what you're saying of like, because I would just sit there and pick myself apart. So it's hard for me because I'm like, well, I don't want to be like, oh, look at how your butt looks like, because that's what I would do. I'd be like, your nose looks big, your ass looks flat,
Suck
like
it in,
suck it
Cesar,
in,
suck
like
it in.
look at the weird thing your boob's doing. What are you doing with your arm? Like that would be me. Yeah.
I'd want to watch it from like the techno to see how good they did with their lighting, how good they did with their editing, or if
Yeah.
I filmed with somebody that I couldn't stand to
Ugh.
see how it like.
Translated.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, see, if it's somebody I didn't want to film with and I did the scene anyway, I'm like, I never want to see that.
Oh, interesting.
Actually, recently, one of the people that I shot with that I always talk about being my worst scene ever, and I had to hate fuck her, and it was like, I was like seriously like throwing this bitch. I'm like, I will fucking murder you. Like, get down on the fucking bed. Like, I hate her. And then a friend of ours passed away, and she came to the funeral, and I didn't recognize her right away. For one, I'm fucking sad, bitch. And then
The title of her new biography,
Yeah.
A Fucking Sad Bitch by Sylvia Saige.
Yeah. And so she comes up and she was like, hey, I just want to offer you a hug. And I didn't realize who she was until she was like in the midst of hugging me. And I was like, oh, this is that cunt. And I was like, oh, what is she doing? Like totally caught me off guard. And then she like tried to make up by giving me like a joint. And I was like, I will smoke your weed, but this is not. I'm not even smoking it with you. I literally
doesn't mean
took her
we're
joint
okay.
and walked away.
Funny.
She
That's
can
like
try
a reality
it,
show
yeah.
then.
She was just a horrible human, and she wants to be a better human because even her boyfriend like and I really get along, and I find it kind of fucked up that her boyfriend is super nice to me in front of her, and then like she knows that I'm like, stay the fuck away from me, you know. And then
She probably
he
feels
kind
threatened
of like,
by you.
well, she has to. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm bigger, I'm better. I'm just saying. She should be threatened, but
And she's here right now.
yeah, and here she is,
Special guest.
Yeah, no way. I won't give her any extra attention. I feel like did we just go blank? Oh, I feel like it just like cut off. I was like, did the show go away? Are we done?
No, but let's talk more about the OnlyFans. So, like a few days later, they said, "Oh, sorry, our bad. We're gonna let you
Come back.
Yeah. Now, here's what is happening in the industry, and this is an actual fact. Whether their decision was fully based on this, and we know there's been a lot of talk behind the scenes. You know, I'm with Cybersocket, so we talk about the business side. There's so many new regulations about credit card processing.
Yes.
So now many companies cannot take credit cards. So if I was an OnlyFan, if I bought my subscription, I'm not going to send in a check. I'm not going to pay with like Bitcoin
Right.
or send a wire transfer or a Zelle or something. I'm just not
Right.
going to do that.
Right.
So this was affecting, and it still is affecting, people don't know the workarounds of how to pay with credit cards. I know even on our side, we've had to go back to even issuing checks in some instances because the regulations against any adult company or
Yes.
any company that has something to do with adult. Cybersocket doesn't produce anything, but we deal with a lot of adult industries, and everything's being monitored, everything's being regulated. So OnlyFans said that this was as a result of that they had to change their way because nobody would pay for their service,
Right.
and that's why they were going to do away with the hardcore stuff.
And so the question is,
I feel like they
When does
already
this-
like committed business suicide by announcing it before. I mean, if it only took 3 days to retract it,
Right.
you should have kept it within the company for a couple more days while you figured it out.
But that's why I
because-
wonder if it wasn't a publicity thing. But
Everybody was talking about it. It was on mainstream news.
But
But
like
I-
just for fans, put a link where all you have to do is click one button,
And you can move
all your
over.
content moves over. So think of how many people you lost.
Yeah.
That was
doing
smart.
that.
Well, and I will say, my numbers went down, not dramatically, but definitely went down in this past few weeks after they pulled that stunt, because I feel like even a lot of our patrons got pretty scared and they were like, okay, well, is now my credit card going to be compromised in some
exactly
way,
right.
shape, or form? You know, so I lost people over it, but I mean, I think. I don't know what I think. I also transferred over. I made different platforms just to have something as a backup if all else fails. But
Definitely, like the people who were set to rebill every month, that went down so much
Yeah.
because they were like, all right, well, you're not going to be good anymore after
right.
this.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
Yeah. It definitely made it a scary place. I don't know that there for a minute I was like, oh, any publicity is good publicity, and then I looked at my numbers and I was like, maybe not.
Well, I'll tell you from my point of view as a user, and it's not right because when you think about it, it actually hurts the performer. But I was like, "Fuck you, OnlyFans! I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have you make money when you're treating my friends, my favorite, adult content creators this way." But it actually the numbers went down, so it
Right.
ultimately hurt the
Yeah.
performers. But I think you're right; it was all publicity. 'Cause
Yeah,
now
they
they're
were
like
trying
"We're
to get
back on
attention
track."
to it. Yeah. But I don't know, because it doesn't feel back on track to me, and I don't know when it's going to feel back on track or if it's going to feel back on track. So I don't know. I know I'm diversifying, that's for sure.
Absolutely. It already put a bad taste in a lot of people's
Yeah, it
mouth.
did,
It
yeah.
makes the platform untrustworthy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's why I was saying it feels like an abusive boyfriend, because you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I am going to move back in because you give me a good allowance every week, but I'm just going to have a bag packed and I'm going to start stacking cash away for an emergency because I feel like I'm probably going to have to leave again, you know?
It seems
That's a
unstable.
great-
You're getting all these new investors and all this other shit. People don't want to have, especially our personal banking information with them.
Right.
Other people's credit cards information. It
Yes.
just seems, the company seems very unstable at the
Yeah.
moment.
And
Well-
it feels like we could be flagged anytime as well
Oh.
because banks can close us down at any point
That's
too.
that's exactly right. You'll wake up and your bank account will be totally frozen.
Yep, I've had it happen.
Your whole life will be on pause, and that is a very definite thing. Banks have gone in there and shut down studios from one night to the next because they do adult stuff. It's like, well, you knew this all the time,
Right.
So it's this bigger theme of government trying to shut down any talk of sex work,
Right.
any adult services, which is so hypocritical because everybody in the government we know
Yes.
uses escort, watches porn.
Yes.
When the Republican convention happened in D.C., the Grinder shut down because there were
God.
so many users,
Hilarious.
and it was like, in the closet or NSA or,
Yeah.
hello. So there's such a hypocrisy, and I don't know what the industry can do to fight this, but it definitely is the government coming down and trying to stop all of this content.
Well, if you
Yeah.
don't pay your taxes on that stuff, they will definitely come for you.
Yeah.
But there's no protection for us whatsoever. So, it's
None.
kind of sucky.
Yep.
Because I paid a good hefty amount last year.
Oh, same. Yeah.
And, to try to shame it and put it down is, like you said, ridiculous.
Yeah. It gets scary.
Yeah.
It's a scary world when they can work on their ethics clause,
How much of effect do you think OnlyFans has had on studio productions and the future of studios in general?
A ton. Honestly, I don't think a lot of performers went back. Myself included, not that I am not going back ever. I don't know how I'm fuzzy. Now I'm out. Oh, now I'm back. Okay. Sorry. Something is wrong with my mic. Maybe you guys don't hear
No,
it?
it sounds great. It's probably the headphones.
Oh, okay.
It's the
might be.
government.
I know. I'm like
Censorship.
I'm very fuzzy in there. So, and I keep going in and out. And now I lost where I was. What was the mention?
No, how OnlyFans has affected studio work.
Oh, I mean, I know I am going back, but I haven't really done studio work in about 2 months. So, and even when I was working, it was pulled back.
During quarantine, a lot of studios were buying our OnlyFans content
Yes.
and stuff.
They were?
Because
I had no clue.
the look of that, the look of OnlyFans and like fan content is what's in right now. So the studio fancy looking shit, people weren't really into anymore. They wanted the fan content.
Right.
So even like Boy Next Door, they were doing Boy Next Door Homemade. And
Mm-hmm.
so they bought a lot of videos off of us. Companies were just like hiring us to basically do OnlyFans videos for
Yeah,
them.
that was happening too with even like Brazzers was reaching out to couples who live together. You couldn't do it with anyone outside of your home, but if
That's
you already
interesting.
lived together, they were paying you to shoot content
Yeah.
and sell it to them because they were out of everything. They had nothing left to put up. So yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it drastically changed it. Everybody wants the look of the fan video, the whole big production, which I really love.
I love the big production
I love
of
doing
it.
like a big B-roll
I do
thing,
too.
like locations.
That's my favorite part.
It makes me feel like a star when I do that.
I
you know what
agree.
mean?
Yeah, I like getting there
So
and
I'm
showing
kinda
up for
sad
hair
about
and
that.
makeup. Yeah.
Well, and as a viewer, I used to love studio, seeing the sets, and it was just sexier,
Yeah.
some of the bad dialogue, or it set up the scenario. But I got spoiled during OnlyFans that you get to the content that you
Yeah.
want. So studio quality is not that important to me as
Yeah.
a user anymore, and that definitely has changed because I didn't used to be that way at all.
And two, I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said that now that you're doing your OnlyFans stuff, it's stuff that you want to be doing. I found the exact same because I was like, I hate people coming on my face. I think it's so disrespectful. I can't fucking stand it. And I hate that I have to get down on my knees and fucking beg for someone to come in my face when in
That's
my
my favorite
brain,
thing to do.
when in my brain I'm seething. I am like,
Oh, God.
I am like, fuck you guys for making me do this. Fuck everybody in this fucking room. Now give me my fucking paycheck. I hate it. I am like, I'm vile through
That's
it.
good to know.
So when I'm in my own stuff, I'm like, you only come on my tits, on my ass. Like you can do like the few things, or you come in a towel. Like I don't really care where you come, but it's not on my face. So
Or on the Uber on the way home. Get out.
yeah. So it's nice to not have to go back into the studios and be like, oh, let me do whatever you need done because this is what the call sheet says.
And like
you
grin
know?
and bear it. Yeah. But me on the
Yeah.
opposite, I'm like, oh, my face.
Oh, it's my favorite thing.
I hate it. I
It's good for the
despise
skin,
it.
Sylvia Sage.
Oh my
Just
God.
not my hair. Just not the hair.
That
God
too,
damn it.
because
How does your hair always escape? No matter what film, he could have like 10 guys. He always
Perfect.
walks
Oh.
out like,
Because you know when they say like, what are your do's and don'ts before you film?
Don't touch
I'm
my
like,
hair.
do whatever you want. Don't touch my fucking hair.
Yeah.
This is on film forever, and like,
Yeah.
it could be the hottest thing going on, and if I see like
a peacock.
an alfalfa happening, I'm like,
well, I think that's
I
why
can't even see like the 4 dicks going in and out of me. All I see is my
the
hair.
hair.
fucked up.
Yeah, no, I get that, but that's why I don't want. That's why I don't want cum on my face is because my hair is pretty, and now you're gonna probably get cum in it because you're a horrible shooter, and I have eyelashes on. You're gonna get cum in those. You're gonna ruin those lashes.
You're gonna look like Tammy Faye with just
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, I want to
Like
go
Tammy
to, I want to
Faye.
like go somewhere after this. Like I want to go get dinner or
an
something.
eyelash just
Yeah.
hanging on for dear life.
I'm a pretty sex girl. I'm like, bend me over and fuck me in the bathroom, and then like let's walk back out to the party. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be pretty sex. I don't want you to destroy me. I'm like that is so rude. Like I'm a human. Don't touch me.
I'm just like, oh, okay. Next time that happens to me, I'm going to be thinking of you and be like, what would Sylvia do?
Hates us. Yeah.
Stop it. Put it back.
It's gonna be like, come on my face. Ah.
Okay, so we have time to do one listener question.
Okay, do it really
so
quick.
You
I'm
pick.
doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Pick
Listener
one
questions.
of them.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God, this is so bad. Okay. Eric from Instagram wants to know, I regularly get blowjobs or give hand jobs at the gym. I don't consider it cheating on my boyfriend because I'm not really doing anything and no kissing. Do I have to tell him? I am the girl who is like, do whatever you want.
I'm not out of sight, out of mind. Like,
Yeah, I'm like not a relationship person though, so I'm not probably the good person to. I've been single for 14 years, so I'm like, bitch, do what you want. Who cares? Is it
yeah,
cheating?
it's cheating.
Is it?
I
It's
mean,
probably
technically.
cheating.
Look, what a romantic sweetheart
Yeah,
over there.
it's probably cheating. I mean,
physically, I don't think it's like an emotional cheat, which matters
Yeah.
more to me.
yeah, but you do get that little rush of like, oh, I'm gonna get my dick sucked by this stranger at the
Oh
gym.
no,
like,
he
that's-
probably was sucking my dick. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
He's like, I'm probably
you're
one of the
cheating.
strangers. No, I mean, I get that extra
If you think your
excitement.
boyfriend would be upset if he happened
If
to
it
go to
happened-
the gym at the same time while you were doing this. then-
Right. If you could get
Yeah.
caught.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's answering his own question. He
Well,
knows
and
this.
maybe he should tell his boyfriend and just be like, and if you want to do this as well, then
Yeah, but it sounds like he's already done it, so he would have to admit to having
Doing
done
it.
this, and it's like that could be breakup. Like you've been doing this, and I didn't know.
Yeah. Do you think it's breakup worthy?
My whole mode changed. You know, I got into my first 8.5-year relationship. That was my first gay relationship
Yeah.
ever. So I had all these things weird about sex that it has to be just us.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't out in the culture. I didn't have the crazy years that sex is sex. The last 4 years of a relationship, he started to open my eyes. So we would do like threesomes, or
Yeah.
like for his birthday, we'd go to a sex club, and it was different. And so my idea towards sex turned. So this would actually turn me on and be like, do that,
Yeah.
but then you come home and let's tell me about it while we jerk
I
off
think
about
the
it.
same. I think my perspective changed also. I was in a serious relationships and I always wanted monogamy. And now after working in sex, I'm just like I date a guy who lives in Canada and we don't get to see each other that often. I don't ask him if he's having sex with other people. I assume he is. And I know he knows I'm having sex with other people. So I just am just like, just don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, like I said in that Cybersocket thing I wrote for you, like,
Yeah.
don't ask questions to things you don't want to know.
Yeah,
the answer to.
exactly.
You know what I mean? But I think I totally agree with you. I was in a relationship with my best friend. I was 7. He was 8 years old when we met. We were together for 10 years.
Wait, you were 7 years
When they
old?
met, not when
we
they
met.
first started.
We were like neighbors, but we
Oh,
started dating when I was
okay,
20. We were
okay,
together for
okay.
10 years, and like
That's
the
a
last
long
couple
time
of years.
at that young age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like,
exactly.
you know, at the beginning we were both Latino, so it was like very monogamous, very
Yeah.
like jealous.
But we're Latino too.
But
We have
like
sex.
at the end, we added
6
a
times a day.
third. We added like that's what kept us together so
Mm-hmm.
long. But
We're brothers.
but like last couple years, we added a third for a whole year. I was working at a strip club. We were
For a whole year, you added a third?
yeah. It was the last year.
Is
but-
that stress? I was gonna say, how stressful is that to have an actual relationship with
it
another
was stressful,
person?
and he moved in pretty early.
Yeah.
Oh, he moved in?
Uh-huh.
Oh, screw that. Mm-mm.
And then we got rid of him.
I don't like
and
to
we
share my
broke
toys
up.
that much.
But even after a year of us, like we lived together for a year after we broke up, we were still having sex like almost every day.
Good for you.
So, yeah, it
My
kept
ex
us
and I will
together.
bang one out every now and then if we're.
If it's good
If we
sex,
have- if we have
why
time,
not?
that's right.
You
That's
know,
us.
like go back for seconds.
Yeah, we'd all be happier if we were all just having sex whenever and
Yeah.
with whomever we want. Everybody would be
Yeah.
so much happier.
It's nice to try a new restaurant every once in a while, but you know your favorites.
Yes.
You know,
Totally.
like tried and true. All right, guys, we got to wrap this show up. So that's it for this week, you guys. So if you like what you saw, click subscribe. And until next time, adios. Oh, wait, don't adios. Cesar, tell everyone how they can find you. Oh, my
Oh,
God, I was so excited.
Jeez. You could find me on Twitter at Cesar Xes or OnlyFans at Cesar Xes and Just for Fans at Cesar Xes.
All the ways.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being a guest
Thank
on
you
our
for
show.
having
Yes,
me.
it's
You're
been
so
so much
funny.
fun. I have loved every second of this.
Same.
So you guys, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Alexander.
Yes.
Thanks, Alexander.